Hello everybody, my name is Luke Marr and this is Haute Mode, and today on Haute Mode we are going to be talking about the first day of the Haute Couture season. There's a lot to discuss. I'm in a new apartment, I'm using a MacBook. Listen, I'm having filming troubles, okay? You don't subscribe for me to look amazing in HD because I never do. So let's just get this MacBook thing going while we're here. Yes, new apartment, working on it, don't worry. We're gonna be talking about 3 shows: Schaparelli, Iris van Herpen, and Dior. Let's just get into these shows. First up, Schaparelli. So for this season, Schaparelli, which is designed by Bertron Guyon, I don't know. Essentially, it focused on the history of Schaparelli. Normally, Bertron kind of pulls from these 1930s avant-garde Schaparelli looks, like the bright pink or the lobster or the faces on the clothes. This season, he really was pulling from post-World War II designs that Schaparelli was doing, which, when you think about it, is very much in line with Dior, Haute Couture, in the way that it was structured and rigid and really created a form for women to fit into. But on top of that, he also pulled inspiration from when Elsa Schiaparelli was a young child, and something that she often did was when she was in the gardens of her family, who was rich and lived in Rome and Paris, and they had nice big beautiful gardens. She would put the seeds of flowers in her nose and her ears and her orifices, and essentially would imagine that these seeds would grow out of her body and create these, big, beautiful bouquets around her face. So there is that kind of wacky, zany Schiaparelli aspect that we know, and these two inspirations really dueled throughout the collection. And while those inspirations definitely did mix, there also was a separation of the inspirations so that they could really show themselves in a pure sense. There were quite a lot of looks that really pulled from the colorful imagination of Schiaparelli and Bertron and used different haute couture techniques like featherwork and embroidery to create this childlike and playful fantasy of what couture can be. One of my favorite looks was actually a dress that looked like the top of a truffula tree from Dr. Seuss. And Victoria's Secret, please take notes, because this is how you do the truffula tree, okay? Thank you. But the rigid sensibilities of haute couture also came through. There was one black look that I thought was so beautiful. It had a really, really sharp jacket, which essentially looked like there was unicorn vomit on it. And underneath that was a really rigid, either long t-shirt or short dress, which is something that is very reminiscent of A-line silhouettes. But also then there was just this short little pair of almost bodycon shorts that reminded me of something that we now are seeing a lot, which is biker shorts. I feel like it mixes the ideas of couture that are very old and traditional with a little bit of a younger sensibility that a younger customer will identify with. And then those two little inspirations clashed in a way that was kind of amazing. There were these suits that were very haute couture-esque, but had these really zany, wild embroideries. Some looked like they had clouds on them. Others looked like there was a whole lot of floral shit going on. And from afar, honestly, you were like, oh, that's actually very interesting. The one thing I do think for Bertron Guyon to continue to push himself with is the concept of Schiaparelli as a designer in and of herself. She was extremely revolutionary. She really did introduce so many aspects to the art of dressmaking that were revolutionary. And so I would hope that Bertron Guyon kind of starts to introduce his own concepts in dressmaking that are revolutionary. Something along the lines of what Iris van Herpen does with her 3D printing, but not what Iris van Herpen does. That's just what I think he should be doing if you're working at the House of Schiaparelli. Next up, let's talk about the queen herself, Iris van Herpen. Icon, we adore. She's iconic. We love. She literally can do no wrong. To me, she is up there with fashion's elite like Rick Owens, Rei Kawakubo, and Lee McQueen. There are very few designers that can put together clothes that really resemble art and really have an artistic sense. And when I look at collections from those designers, as well as Iris, I'm not oh my god, critique, I'm gonna critique the shit out of this. I really just sit and I'm I'm gonna enjoy this. This is what I love. This is the purity of fashion at its most creative, at its most inventive, and it's a real joy to be able to experience that. The starting point for Iris for this collection was the concepts of Cybrids. Now, if you guys don't know what that means, I didn't either. Essentially, it's where human cells and animal or plant cells are mixed together. So from that, Iris was like, I want to look at how the female form has been mixed with other animals throughout history and throughout mythology, throughout the world, to give us these kind of really amazing creatures that don't exist, but like could and should. So some of the creatures that I can just think of are the Harpy from Europe, Isis from ancient Egypt, the Inmeyonjo from Korea, or the Matsya from Hinduism, and the Jengu from Africa. Then Iris looked to the New York artist Keever, who essentially does these really beautiful, colorful cloud photos. They really are like stunning, and you can see those color inspirations throughout the collection. In reality, Iris made me like Google 7,000 things, and I've honestly never been so happy to have to Google so much in my life. The first look is stunning. I mean, Issa Lish, who normally has black hair, dyed her hair blonde. It looks amazing. And she's wearing this beautiful gown that essentially kind of like creates these wing-like structures. And honestly, I'm just like, oh my god, beautiful Harpy, like Isis from ancient Egypt. Like, oh my god, amazing. It's so good. Love it. And then there is that beautiful 3D printed dress, which looks like waves and like a bird cage at the same time. And somehow Iris does this brilliant thing where she makes the dress go from sheer to opaque and makes it look like it just naturally did that, when in reality you know that like, oh my god, she like literally programmed it to look like that. So it's like, she's just so good at what she does. I don't understand. And then you have those amazing dresses that essentially look like layers of line work, but have these little like faces kind of hidden in them, which you're just like, oh my god, look at that face. Where is Waldo? Oh, there he is. Like, and then there are these beautiful pleated capes that kind of continue to play on that Cybrid theme of like half human, half creature. But personally for me, the Keever cloud looks kind of fall flat. There's something about the way that they're partially sheer and partially opaque that just doesn't give me the same energy that Keever's work gives me. The thing I think for me is that Keever's work is so vibrant and bright and full, and the fact that Iris made them a little bit sheer dumbs it down for me, and so it was kind of disappointing. The one look I did really like from that Keever inspired work is the indigo and white look. I just, thought it was great that it created a little structure, but the other looks just kind of fell flat, which was sad. My two favorite looks from the collection, though, are the last two looks. I just love the colors that she uses. She really is brilliant in the way that she just says, fuck you, I'm gonna use all these colors, I don't care what you think. And I'm like, go off. These pieces are a collaboration with the artist Nick Verstand, I don't know. But essentially, he creates images of circulating clouds, and that's where Iris got those shapes from, and just the way that they're kind of cartoony and they look like big splats, like it's beautiful. Overall, we only get 2 Iris and Herpen collections a year, and like honestly, I'm content. Like, the year's starting off good. I'm excited to see what comes in July. Bless up, Iris. But now let's talk about the big kahuna, Dior. A mess. Every season, I think Dior can't get any worse, and then it does. But Maria Grazia taking us on this fucked up field trip to the circus really like made me lose my shit. I'm very upset. The online notes for the show essentially reference the fact that Christian Dior loved going to the circus, and that one of the most famous Dior dresses, which was shot in the photograph Dovima with the Elephants by Richard Avedon, was shot at the circus as well. But that dress was eaten by the elephant, so you know what? Not great reference point, Maria Grazia. There also was references to John Galliano's Dior Spring 2002 collection, which essentially played on a bunch of aspects of Russian culture, the ballet, literature, the circus. And then she added in these like inspirations about the Victorian circuses, which is like terrifying on its own, but like when Maria Grazia has something to do with it, it obviously gets worse. And then there were other famous artists like Jean Cocteau, Fellini, Pablo Picasso that also like liked going to the circus or whatever. So, somehow she mixes together all of these amazing people and things and still fucks it up. Still manages to just put out things that you are saying, oh, I didn't realize I dropped acid today. Now, this is probably one of the only good dresses in this whole collection, so for the next 67 looks, prepare yourself, because it's about to get real. If this is the ringmaster of the circus, no wonder the circus is going out of business. Also, like, who is this sad, dowdy Victorian matron who like stumbled onto the runway. Remember that time that PETA protester got on the runway and that security man literally dragged her off of the stage? I don't understand why that didn't happen, because was this meant to be a look from the show? From the Haute Couture show? Nothing about this says Dior Haute Couture. It says, oh, remember that awful Dior Bumblebee collection? Yeah, I'm back, bitch. Then there's this like ringmaster's gothic morbid sister who has no silhouette whatsoever. And also Jack Skellington called. He wants his bow tie back. Like, are 2 squares of frayed organza considered haute couture now? Is 4th grade macaroni collage considered art? Like, I'm lost. Again, I can't do shit with a sewing machine, but I can tell you what I could do. Fray the edges of fabric and also pin together a lump of fabric and call it a bow. But you know what I couldn't do? Couldn't put those down the runway and have good conscience to say that it's haute couture. Okay, leftover Christmas candy wrapper. She looks cheap. This aligns with what Maria Grazia has shown for Dior Couture. Is it good? No. Is it consistent? Kind of. Okay, so like an embroidered liger jumping through a flaming hoop is cool. But I feel like this is the part of the collection where we're supposed to be like, oh wow, much couture, much artisan work. Oh yeah, very craftsmanship. But like, no, I'm really not that impressed. Honestly, liger jumping through a flaming hoop is giving me baby got realness, and that's all. There's a flame dress with a black ruffled collar, and I'm leaving. I'm going. Goodbye. Thank you. I don't understand how the bust of this dress can look so god-awful and you still consider it couture. I'm lost. I'm lost in the sauce, people. This is a joke. I'm not doing it. This is a joke. This is a joke. Bye. Thank you. I'm good. Sweetie, you're not at Valentino anymore. That was 4 years ago. Okay, is this like a scarecrow from the school play of The Wizard of Oz? Like, I'm missing it. Okay, like the embroidery on this one is like actually really beautiful, but like I don't understand why you had to ruin it with the fucking big collar and sheer sleeves. Like, I don't understand. Why is this necessary? Why can't you just like do something cute and then just leave it? Just not touch it. Just let the people that are making the artisan clothes just do their job. This is like a Maria Grazia regular, but like how do you expect somebody to pay $100,000 for this dress? And if you do pay $100,000 for this dress, you deserve to be swindled, and I'm happy that you were. Okay, why is there an Eddie for YSL image in this album? I can't even think of a joke for this one. Roman gladiator, but make it circus. Okay, this one's like not that bad. What is that? Like maybe the 3rd acceptable look? Wednesday Addams is ashamed of this. Okay, I'm sorry, like, this is haute couture, like artisan craftsmanship dressmaking. How is the right cup of this dress fucked up? I don't understand. One does not look like the other. Asymmetrical Chinese buttons on a mandarin collar shirt dress with astrological embroidery? Sweetie, you're not John Galliano and you never will be, okay? Gold lame pleating. Wow. So amazing. I've never seen that before. Ever. Somehow you have ruined tattoo bodysuits for everybody? Like D Squared and Margiela.
Sweetie, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that an ugly ass bitch like this would even say that.
This is a waste of a look, and 5 minutes of my life I will never get back. Again, I don't know why this has to be here. Like, everybody knows that Dior can make a white sheer top. And you also all know that they can make a skirt that's caged with some feathers on it. Like, I can make a skirt that's caged with some feathers on it. Is it gonna look amazing? No, but you know what? I can do it. You know what? Do not drag Olivier Roussan and Beaumont into this collection. He hasn't even shown yet, okay? If he's gonna fuck up his couture, let him do it on his own, okay? I don't need you to be pulling some influence all up into this collection from him. Okay? This looks like one of those poles that those little like Swedish or Russian or Ukrainian or Dutch kids like run around in lederhosen and clogs with, you know, the ones they just like circle around the pole. Somehow Schaparelli did a better Dior silhouette than Dior. Ready to wear! That is the saddest excuse for a take on the new look I've ever seen in my entire life. Thank God for Pier Paolo. Honestly, otherwise this is what Valentino would have looked like for years. I mean, the jumpsuit looked like it walked out of the Berlin Center for Queers in 1935, and like, honestly, that's not a good thing. No. Well, no. Go. No. Honestly, the videos got deleted, and I just, like, I can't. I'm having mental breakdown. So, I mean, let's be real. Dior was shit. It was fucking awful. We all know that. Bernardo, no. Just please cancel it. Like, we deserve better. Christian Dior's memory deserves better. The old lady in the Dior ateliers who are going to get early onset arthritis making these fucking ugly dresses deserve better. So please fix this. I can't really do it anymore. Please let me know what you guys thought of the collection in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts, but like also like, you know, let's talk about Iris and Schaparelli because it's so much better. Yeah, so I promise I'm going to be putting out more videos. Givenchy, Chanel, there's also Valentino, Balmain, like all, you know, it's coming, I promise, all right? I'll talk to you guys later, bye.